What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Village Hidden in the Streets. We are the Black Flames. I am Dr. Griffs.
My name is Zabam, and welcome back to the channel for another video. So, today, guys, we're getting into some... depending on who you are, it might be a little bit of a sad topic. It might be a little bit of an optimistic topic. I tend to gravitate towards the optimistic point of view in life, so I'll try to navigate it. But today, me and my host, Dr. Griffs, we are going to be talking about the transition to adulthood. And I feel like both of us are in that stage in our life where we're literally at that transition. I think the 20s is generally everybody's transition. Some people might have transitioned to adulthood a little bit earlier, depending on how you grew up and like what you had to deal with. Some people transition later, depending on how they grew up and what they were given to, But Dr. Griffs, could you give, your thoughts about adulthood? What you think the difference between childhood and adulthood is, and your general experience so far.
Okay. Difference between childhood and adulthood, my general experiences so far. Okay, I remember in 1990X, I was born.
1990X.
I don't remember that, but post-college life. Well, college life. You know what I'm saying? I went away to a college and I was living on campus, so there's certain freedoms and I feel like in college you're able to rewrite who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For better or worse. You're able to learn new skill sets. For me, that was DJing. Prior to college, I never DJed before. I never really thought about it. But DJing has had a huge impact in my life. So those 4 or 5 years, I was able to revamp that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I thought I had it all figured out. I was like, I'm about to be a full-time DJ, be DJing in Cancun or Ibiza. Maybe I didn't think all that. But, I thought I could do stuff like that. And then 2020 hit, and that humbled all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Most
of
everybody,
yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people. Most people. I realized that DJing is something that isn't necessarily sustainable or something I could do. And I had to pay my bills. I had to pay my rent. You know what I'm saying? I had to get something more consistent. So that being a bit more, I guess, realistic with my dreams or my goals was kind of a big marker of adulthood. What about you, man? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking about this topic a little bit, as we do before we get into it. And, I took maybe 20 minutes before the podcast, just kind of cleaning up my environment, because, when you become an adult, you kind of have to clean up your environment. But I was thinking about what is a good phrase for me to encapsulate how I feel about adulthood right now. And so let me know what you think about this, right? I said, becoming an adult is realizing that magic doesn't exist, and at the same time acknowledging how much more amazing a world without magic is. So what I kind of mean by that is the first part saying becoming an adult is realizing that magic doesn't exist. So as a child, you kind of come into the world with endless possibilities. Your imagination is running on full blast. Your parents, if you have decent parents, kind of give you some leeway, some freedom to explore your imagination, to kind of dream about whatever you want to be. Like, I'm going to become an astronaut, I'm going to become the president, I'm going to change the world. And your parents, if you have decent good parents, kind of give you the freedom to be like, yes, you are going to be a doctor. Yes, you are going to be this X, Y, Z, whatever you want to be, right? And then, when I grew up, I grew up in a household where Santa was real. I grew up in a household where my parents did their best to make it seem like they weren't the one that set up the tree and got the presents and all that. They were like, yo, Santa. And I'm like, Santa? Really? It's like, yeah, Santa. So I feel like when you're younger, especially your parents, the adults in your life, create a lot of safety guards. You ever went bowling? How
Yeah,
the bumpers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like your parents basically creates bumpers for life, so that way you always are like the ball is always hitting the pins, right? I think adulthood is when the bumpers come down and you realize, oh shit, I can't keep just bouncing it off the things. You gotta pick a path and go straight with it. You gotta be more tactical, more strategic, right? And I feel like that could be very jarring. You talked about the college experience, and it's like the college experience I think is for most people is probably their first real introductory to like what it's going to be like to be an adult, right? Because you're living on your own. You gotta feed yourself. You gotta take care. You gotta do your laundry. You gotta like deal with other human beings without the safeguards of the advice of your parents or support. So I think for a lot of people, it's very easy to become to romanticize what childhood was like, because it's just freedom to like just explore whatever you want. Everything was possible. Your parents took care of everything. You weren't stressed about it. It was just like boom. And then you come into this world where you could go to prison. Like you could
be a parent. You could
a lot of stuff can happen to you that you just like. You have to like, it almost feels like you have to be on top of it, and that's when the magic disappears, when you realize like, oh shit, like things don't just happen. Like you start looking at, I started looking at my parents like, dang, you're fallible. You're fallible. Like you're faulty. Like I as a younger thing, I didn't think about like how the light bills was going to get paid for. I wasn't thinking about like how the rent and the mortgage was going to get paid for. It just got taken care of, and you're just like, but now as an adult, I see my parents talk about how they handle bills and how they're going to deal with stuff, and you're just like, dang, it might not work out this month. And that's and so that's when you realize like, dang, the magic is gone. But then you're like, whoa, so you mean to tell me you've been holding all this stuff up without magic? And that's when it made me think like, oh man, it's so much more amazing that we exist in this world. Like, oh, things don't just come into reality because you want them to come into reality. It's like you actually have to work with people, put effort in, develop skills and everything. And so that to me is more amazing, because magic is like snap my fingers and things just happen, right? But for things to be happening without the ability to snap your fingers and things to happen, I find that more amazing. I almost want to say it's more magical, but that doesn't quite make sense, right? But
no, I get you saying.
Yeah. So that's my general feelings about adulthood right now. There's other stuff, other annoying things, but if I were to encapsulate my whole feeling of adulthood right now at the mid range of my 20s, I'll say that. Maybe it might be different when I'm in my 30s and potentially have kids and stuff. Who knows how I'm going to see it? But that's what I see it right now.
Yo, speaking about like just taking things for granted. You ever have like a Christmas and you got like socks or underwear?
Oh yeah, you're just like, yo, why you giving me socks when the new console just came out? What the heck?
New game, I got socks. Wow. And now I have like, I could, rearrange my budget to have new game, new toy money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, socks? Those look you were hitting. Like, if someone gave me a pack of socks right now, a brand new pack of socks, would be kind of hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I don't know what happens to like socks just be disappearing, bro.
Facts.
Like I don't know.
It's so weird. Like I could spend like $300 on some technology, right? But I'm looking at a pack of socks. I'm like, ooh, it's $20. That's $15. I can't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like the peace of mind of like getting ready and like be like, oh yeah, I have enough pairs of underwear lit. Like there's a peace of mind in I know there's some kids watching this video being like, what are you guys talking about? Like, but I think it's because we never had to worry about socks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like your parents made sure.
My mom's always responsible enough that each year I got a pack of socks, and I'm like, okay, yay, socks. But now I'm looking at it like, yo, some of my socks got holes in it. They go from white to gray to black. It's like, yo. So, but now I'm the one that's responsible to get my pack of socks. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And you know, I think
I'm
it's.
gonna- Sorry,
Yeah.
what?
Say your thing, man.
I'm the one that's responsible to, get a dentist appointment.
Yeah.
Pay for the dentist appointment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, adulting is just things you just really didn't think about. You got to start doing yourself.
For sure. And I think why, like, for me, it's like, so like, since I work out and I don't skip leg day, my legs, I got those thick legs, bro. So like, when I wear pants that fit and look well on me, like, give it 3 to 6 months, there's gonna be a hole ripped in between the thighs, right? So hey, pause, chill. Why you gotta change your face? Like, I'm just telling you my experience, bro. You know what? Stop.
I was muted. I thought the camera was off too. I apologize.
But
as you were saying, I'm sorry to interject.
yeah, but that's my reality. So like, every 3 months, I'm like out here like, it's either I buy pants that's too oversized for me, or I buy pants that fit me well, but know that like in 3 months I'm about to look for another pair of pants, right? And maybe there's a brand of pants out there that like takes care of that problem and I won't have those issues, so I'm looking for it. So for me, when someone's giving me a gift, because back in the past, like a couple years ago, like I'll be like, yo, the gift you get at me is a new console. The gift that I'm going to like appreciate and like have a smile on my face is like a new console or a new video game or a new pair of headphones, like some piece of technology, right? But now, since I'm at the point in time where I'm financially more stable, like I can, like if I want a piece of technology, if I want something, I can go get it, right? So to me, any gift that saves me time or energy is like I appreciate so much more. Like if someone bought me like, yo man, if my girlfriend or my dad or my mom said like, yo, I saw like a couple of your pants ripped up, so I just bought you 5 new pairs of joggers, like the ones that you like, and you're just looking at them like, damn, I don't have to spend money on these, yo. Like I could save it for something else. So, and I think it goes vice versa. If someone gave me like a piece of technology I was looking for, I'm like, dang, I was planning on buying that, but now I can do this. So to me, gifts now are more like like saving me money. Does that make sense? It's like I would have bought it, but now I don't have to. So now I have X amount of money just sitting in my account for something else that I'll need or desire in the future.
Is money an overrated present for you? Like someone said, yo, Bam, I know it's your birthday. Here's $40. Here's $60. Here's $100. Here's $1,000. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like honestly for me, I feel like you can't go wrong with money.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like because it's either you get a person the gift they want exactly, or you get them something that are like, thanks. You know, but you can't with money. It's like it's always like appreciated. It's like you could do whatever you want with money. You could get whatever exact thing you want, right? So like for me, it's like I would love the ability to find exactly that thing that like a person would really appreciate. But if I can't, if it's coming close to the time when it's supposed to time to get them a gift, they might get that gift card. You know, they might get that prepaid debit card. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I hear you saying.
Like I know I can't go wrong with that. You know?
Oh yeah. My mom came to visit one time, and she sponsored a whole grocery trip.
Bro,
I was crying.
That's blessings right there, man.
A grocery trip, like yo, that'd be eating into my budget. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like when I was younger, I'm like, oh yay, the grocery store. Like, now, like, yo, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo,
adulting, man.
Adulting, bro. Like, how do you feel? Like, one thing I was also thinking about that's different from childhood to adulthood is just relationships with people. Like, let me know what you think about this. Like, I feel like as a child, it was easier, and I'm a pretty friendly, extroverted person, right? So I feel like as a child, it was way easier to make friends with people. It was way easier to deal with conflict with people. It was easier to resolve conflict with people. But as an adult, it just feels like it's way more complicated, or like people are just making more complicated. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, the conflict thing, I mean, as a child, like, in your schedule, there's baked in relax time. If it's like a group lunch in a cafeteria, gym where you're all kind of working out together, you know what I'm saying? You know, after school programs, teams you join, like all this kind of baked into your time. Whereas an adult, you know, if you're working a typical 9 to 5, you really just have the people who are around you at work. Hopefully you like them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like them, that's just, you know, that kind of sucks. And then after, you know, 5 o'clock, you have to travel to get home. So you might be home by like 5:36, 6:45. And now you're kind of tired. You know, you're an adult, so there's probably not someone making food for you. So you have to go home, make your own food, or do takeout and everything like that. So it's like 8 o'clock. All you done was work all day. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have time to gym. Unless you're really trying to actively push yourself to the gym, you probably don't have time for that. So you just go to sleep. So where in this cycle do you have time to make friends? You know what I'm saying? Where in this cycle do you have time to call people, to contact people? You know what I'm saying?
True.
I think one of the things I realized as an adult, or someone becoming an adult, you have to be real intentional with your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do have those 24 hours and you can spend them however you want to. There's caveats, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have responsibilities, you gotta take care of it, you know what I'm saying? But like this year, I've been more intentional about like calling people, contacting people. This podcast, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, it's recording is at X time o'clock, so I gotta be up, I gotta be everything set by that time, you know what I'm saying? So it's intentionality with your time is something that you have to get used to as an adult, or you should.
Yeah, it's like, it's, you know, it's like what Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. So like once you're loosened up from the protection and grasp of your parents, it's like you can do whatever you want with your time. Like, there's a lot of people, like, I'm not saying this is what you should do, but there's a lot of people that don't want to go to college, but their parents are making them go to college. And guess what? You don't have to go to your classes. You know, you can walk into the financial aid office and be like, hey, yo, cut that shit out. You know, and then do it, like, get a job working somewhere and doing something else. You know, it's like, it's your time. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. I think also one thing about being an adult is realizing that you have access to doing whatever you want in your time, but there's certain things that is within your grasp to put action towards. So for example, like, you know, if you want to go on a private jet and like go to Bermuda for the weekend, if your bank account is not looking like you can afford to do that, then you can't do that, right?
Well, some people say I got credit cards, so I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, here's the thing about that. The thing about having a credit card to me, and I'm still trying to figure out how to build my credit in a way that is responsible for me. But it's not your money. You know, it's like, you don't have a credit card. Like, you have a pimp, and the pimp is going to ask for his money back with interest. Like, to me, and I feel like there's definitely people that are smart about how they pay for things with their credit and stuff like that. But you know, we might want to get sponsored by some credit card company in the future, so let me not go into much detail about it. Just be wise and smart in how you manage your credit. You know, like, make sure you're paying off everything on time. Do not pay for anything that you don't have money for, right? So if you're paying for something you know you can't pay back in any reasonable amount of time, that's dangerous.
This is not financial advice. We are not financial experts. This is just
yeah, yo, I'm just trying to pay off my student loans, so like, don't even take my advice. I don't know what to tell you.
Could relate. Past me could relate.
Oh yeah, that's a big adult move though. That was a big adult move. You paying off paying off your stuff. You made videos about that, and
Yeah.
how did you feel about that process? Do you feel like just share your thoughts about that, because that's a big adult milestone I'm trying to reach right now.
Yeah, when I was graduating college, I realized that I have a couple different paths. I could try DJing full time, I could try going to grad school, or I could try going to get a full-time job. And I realized with whatever path I do, my student loans would follow me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what I should focus on more than anything is getting rid of student loans, getting rid of this debt. And then by the time I'm done with that, I should be a bit more wise. I should understand if I want to go to grad school, if so, what type of program.
Yeah.
I get a better understanding of if I want to DJ full time, or what type of full time job I'd want. So I graduated with like $21,000 in debt, and for the majority of that 11-month, 12-month time frame, I was making like $14.50 to like $15.80, $15.80 an hour.
Gotcha.
I wasn't really making bank with my full-time job. I was looking at 40 hours a week. But the way I live with my girlfriend, so rent and expenses are cut in half. I don't eat out like a lot, if ever. My occasionally get Chipotle, you know what I'm saying? So I saved off money on that, and I was just very aggressive with paying off loans. Like, I didn't have a savings. So I'd pay my rent, then my next check would go directly to loans. And I think I signed up to say I'd pay off my loans in 30 years or so. So I was only mandated to pay like $150 per month or something like that. But I was like, I realized that for the loans I had, there was no repercussions for paying it off early.
Yeah.
So each check went to loans. You know what I'm saying? I wear this on the daily basis. I wasn't really buying new clothes or anything like that. And within about 11 months or so, I was debt free.
Yeah, and that's like
a lot of PB&J sandwiches, so nothing like crazy, like no jokes or anything like.
Yeah.
So I had basic lunch, you know what I'm saying? PB&J sandwiches, some Oreos, and that was my lunch. You know what I'm saying? Drank water, rode a bike.
Yeah.
Took the bus. No, that was it.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like adulting does better than childhood. It makes you really recognize and think about what you really want, right? Because you realize with adulthood, to get the things you want comes sacrifice, right? So like in terms for you, based on that story, is like you chose that path. It had different sacrifices to it, whereas like you can't eat whatever you want. You went with the cheaper budget and things. You couldn't go out and do all the crazy stuff that like people like using their 20s to do, because you're like, I really want to be debt free, and you're like, I really want to be debt free as fast as I possibly can be. Bam. And so you were like, all right, this is what I need to do. This is the bare minimum amount of money I need to survive, and like literally survive and live and stuff. And you threw everything else in there. Now, being an adult is like, now, is that a responsible thing to do? Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a responsible thing to do. But I feel like being adult is choosing what you really want, right? Like if you want to pay off your debt, but you don't want to like go to the levels where you're only eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches and ramen noodles every day, then you can't have I want to pay off all my student loans within 6 months and live that going to Bermuda and Hawaii and spring break lifestyle at the same time. You have to choose. It's like you could live the lifestyle but pay off your student loans within 3 to 5 years. You can finish it off right now. So it's about choosing what you want and being aware of the sacrifices you have to make to get that thing.
To that point, I think that loan section of my life helped prepare me for this section. Because when I was paying off all my loans, I didn't really have a lot of income, a lot of disposable income. And after that, the same mentality of paying off loans went to building up an emergency fund and savings and everything like that. And now I realized I was working part-time somewhere, and it was just eating a lot into my schedule, what I wanted to do. So I cut back on some hours. So I only work Monday through Wednesday, which, makes the budget kind of tight.
Yeah.
A friend of mine wanted to meet up with me. He was like, "Yo, you trying to go eat somewhere?" I was like, "I could bring my food there." Like, I could afford it, just still eating into the budget. So I've learned to say no a lot better. Like, nah, it's just not in my. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this financial sacrifice because I believe in my future self. I'm interested in music creation, learning how to play the piano, doing stuff like this. I feel like I'm a bit more passionate about this, but I'm sacrificing finances right now. Everything's a choice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think that's a good place to kind of start to conclude on the idea of like one of the biggest things about being an adult that I've realized that most people talk about is the idea of like, potentially having to sacrifice your dreams, and like letting go of like the things that you dreamt about doing as a child, and like trying to find a way to figure it out, and realizing that life is hard, and having to negotiate with yourself what you can keep and what you have to give up. But we're not going to talk about that in this video. We're actually going to be talking about that in the next video. So if you're looking forward to that, hit us with a like button, smack that like button. Obviously, if you want to see more of our faces, subscribe. And both me and Dr. Griffs are really interested in hearing what you guys think, especially on this. We're young adults trying to figure it out. So if you're an old individual that's been there, done that, share your thoughts and perspectives there. If you're a young buck trying to figure it out, share your concerns there, and maybe we can give you advice from where we've been at, but you're free to take your own advice. If something goes wrong with it, hey, disclaimers.
We are not experts. We're just expertly living our life the best we can.
Exactly. Do you have any finishing thoughts you want to kind of end things on?
No, yeah. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Yep. So, like the video, comment, and subscribe.
Peace.
Peace.